Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and I wanted to do a video tutorial on how to get rid of lifter tick on an engine. I can't say it'll work with everything, but it actually has significantly fixed the problem on my car. And I should say, I've seen other videos where they've like cleaned out some kind of oil flush or something, and I guess you could try, but that's a lot of work. If this wouldn't work, it's basically just like adding half a quart of oil, and it's a little more expensive, and it wouldn't really be any, you wouldn't lose out. So I'm just going to start putting some in. I'm about almost a quart low, and again this is about half a quart. But I already did put one in here, and I'd say it fixed about 95 or probably 85-90% of the problem. I already took the little foil thing off to make this video a little less painful to watch, and this comes out pretty slow. It's almost like honey. Now this is a Dodge Stella with a dual overhead cam, 24 valve V6. If anyone else has the same car, this is a big common problem. I actually forgot to start it up and give you a tutorial, but it actually most of the time doesn't even tick anymore because I did put a bottle of this stuff in. But if you want to see what it sounded like before, just go ahead and go on my channel, and it's like the second video I did way back. One thing I like about this is you can kind of lock it in there and just let the rest drip out for 5 minutes or something. Obviously, it depends on how your block's shaped or angled and where they put the hole at. You might not be able to just set it there, but again, you can just check my full in-depth tutorial of this car and go to the clip where it was lifter ticking really bad, and it pretty much quieted it down, but it was still a little bit. So I figured I'd put one more bottle in, so that would total a full quart in here, which shouldn't hurt, but I wouldn't put any more in, because if it doesn't quiet it after that, then it's probably not going to do anything at all. I would also highly recommend putting in Mobil 1 full synthetic. I've tried a lot of the Valvoline High Mileage, put a lot of that in because it was cheap and it seemed to be good, but it never really quieted out. I put that, when I did my oil change, I put in the whole thing of Mobil 1 full synthetic, and it didn't tick for a long time, and it came back. I still have the Mobil 1 in here, but after a while, I'm not sure what it does. You can't really expect it to fix everything, because I mean it's a mechanical problem that needs fixed. But this will aid it. I don't know if it lubricates it or what, but those lifters won't pump. It's just usually just a couple. I think mine's just one loud one and sometimes another one, and it'll really quiet it up. So I'm going to let that drip in for a little while longer and then start the car back up. And it might still do it, because like I said, sometimes it'll just on and off, but it's not near as bad as it was after the first bottle. And after this one, it takes a while. It took about a week. I don't drive it that much, just to and from, but after probably 50 to 100 miles, it should make a difference. Sometimes you'll start it up and it'll be quiet. Sometimes it'll be ticking. After longer, it should mellow out some. And again, if you have this car, this engine, I really recommend getting the 99 VR4 lifters. They're bigger bore, bigger hole, and they won't jam up like that. They'll pump up. But I know this is something that obviously it should just be fixed, but this is an easy way to mask it, and it's a lot cheaper and it doesn't hurt. So again, I would go with Mobil 1 full synthetic and also this STP, and hopefully that'll help you out. So I'll come back and start it up. Again, I wish I would have remembered to start it up before I did that, but it probably would have been quiet, because like I said, after the first time I put some in, it almost always was quiet, but it would tick a little bit now and then. But let's see what it's like now. I hear one, but it's not too bad. And this is right after I did this, so. So you can hear it still tapping. So it's basically, if I would have started it up before, it wouldn't have mattered, because it still would have sounded like this. And when I did this for the first time, it was like this, and it was like this for a few days, and I thought it didn't work. But like I said, after a few times, it does improve it. But you can clearly hear it still is ticking. I might let it run for a while or something, stop the video and come back, and it'll quiet down. It's just unpredictable. Again, that's why I would highly recommend just getting the lifters replaced. But for, let's like $3.99, you can't really go wrong with this. It's just like putting half a quart of oil in, and it usually will at least mask most of it. I'll rev it up a little bit and see. Sometimes it'll go away at higher RPM, but I'll give it a while to work through. But even if it doesn't, in a couple of days it'll start to work again. It's odd how it is, but I'll stop the video right here. So I left the car sit for probably like an hour or two. And now you can hear that there's no more lifter tick. It pretty much went away. So I would, again, for instant effect, I'd probably switch to Mobil 1 full synthetic, because it, you're changing out all your oil compared to this where it has to circulate its way through. So that's pretty quiet, but it can be here and there. Sometimes you start it up and it'll still be loud, and sometimes it's gone, and sometimes it's silent when you start it and it makes noise when you get back. So I would always recommend just changing the lifter, but it's worth a shot. It's only $4 for a oil. This is my second one. That's doing pretty good, keeping it quiet. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you out. And